What we love is the sun shining over what we love. And that's a full responsibility to maintain the presence of that sun shining, of our life energy, over what we love. But we're brought up in the system amongst life where there is an eternal peace and calm of that love that's shining over all of life. But the system creates or offers us fractures. We form fractures because we are not allowed to directly experience through the senses: touch, taste, feel, smell, hear, see. And in that, we are not able to form our real life, our real peace and calm. And instead, those fractures, the distortions that are coming from things that are defining us, telling us how to think and feel, what is right and what is wrong, and on it goes. The whole system is about that. Is us no longer being able to take full responsibility for what we love. So if we say we love nature, we love life, we actually don't love it, with the fractures in the background operating, because we've accepted so many other dreams, feelings, where the fiction of what was defined to us is where we're directing our energy into. In fact, we say that we love the car, that we love steel and we love plastic, and that we love technology and AI and all these other things. Now, all of these fictions, and I should add to that, all the emotions, E-motions, all the destructive feelings are all fiction, and all of them are fractures upon the peace and calm of life. So we don't have peace and calm. So what we say we love, whether you love someone, whether you feel that you love life, or whether you love whatever it is, that's, especially when we love life, we're not actually going to be able to fully love it responsibly, because we carry with us the fractures or the distortions of these feelings. And any button press on us, because usually what happens when we're brought up in the system, we are forming a fake front through the scripts of everything explained to us to describe these sensations, these feelings of distortion that's become us and the personality that we present out in the system. And we say we love that and we love who we are, and we're given birthdays and this day and that day and celebration, and all these are fiction. And so there's a plethora of distortion that we are reenacting. We're reacting because we have suppressed, we've repressed, we've depressed who we really are. And because we say we love who we are, or we say that we love life and we love our family and we love everyone else, and all these distortions have been done to all of us, we're actually carrying, it's like grey mixed in pure white, and lots of grey mixed in. And if you can't sense these emotions, these underground distorted feelings, we will always be at the effect of those feelings, whether it's jealousy, anger, rage, weakness, poor me, selfishness, greed, just every one of them that isn't the peace and calm. And anyone else that comes along who can press a button, the fake front of the peace and calm, and when people are, how are you? Go, oh, we're fine, I'm good, and all that, can easily bring up all that other disturbances, because we practiced burying it as we grew up, practicing the recollection of all the scripts that defined everything to us. Because none of this is real, none of it. And we've done it to our children, our parents have done it to us, we've done it to our partners, we're just doing it everywhere. We're even doing it to all of nature itself. So we're unable to love life. We're lying when we say that we love life, because we're actually playing out all the distortions, which is all the scars and wounds upon the surface of life that we now call cities and suburbs, and skyscrapers and aeroplanes and trains and motorbikes and mobile transport and all the other things that we are attached to. That has nothing to do with life. It ain't real. None of it's natural. So these fractures, these distortions, are actually a curse because they're a lie. And all lies are curses. So we actually spend our lives performing the scripts that we built that became the fake fronts, the facades of who we think we are. And we present that out into the world around us. And we actually believe, oh, I'm going to be better at this, I'm going to be good at that. And on it goes. There's just so many of them. But that disturbance of that loss of peace and calm will rise up and just keep rising up because we've never actually looked at it. We've actually really looked at it. Why are we doing this? How are we so at the effect of these emotions? And we can go from one kind of chameleon performance, one kind of peacock kind of fake front to another, to another, to another, all armed with scripts and storytelling that we picked up. And we can wear makeup and wear fashion clothing, and we can be first in sport, and we can work hard to be great or whatever. But none of this takes away this disturbance, these fractures that we still carry with us through life. And that's the area that we need to address. That's the area we've got to look at as to how these things happen and why have we really lost that true peace and calm. Now, in the system, it's always chaos. It's just all ongoing chaos, one after the other, after the other, after the other, whether it's economy, money, banking, government, politics, issues with religion, people fighting and battling each other, who's right and who's wrong, wars, social unrest, all these things is always there. And that the fabric of system life is built from this distortion, from these fractures. Because it doesn't live in the real life where the true peace and calm operates. Because if we did have that true peace and calm, we'd be fully responsible and be that sun that shines over what we say we love. And there wouldn't be anything else to distort it and undermine it. And we won't carry it around like a monkey on our back into everywhere we go with our lives and end up going through one relationship, break another relationship, divorce and another relationship, and it's all been acceptable. Oh, it's fine. You've had 4 marriages. Oh, it's fine. You're still a really nice. I love you. All that kind of stuff. But the empathy and the compassion for the real love for life of who we really are ain't there, because there's just too many fractures, too many distortions, and we're journeying through a shattered reality where, like a mirror that's completely smashed, and we have to journey in amongst all the cracks of this mirrored life, because everything defined to us are reflections of how we perceive, or the perception of life itself. And none of this is real. And yet these are what considered to be the norms. And we spend all our lives in band-aid mode, trying to appease and control this underground swell of distorted feelings, which edges us along, pushes us along, and it becomes the adrenaline or the ego, the performance of the ego, where these fake fronts are formulated from the scripts of everything that's defined to us that we formed into sentences and paragraphs and chapters of storytelling about these fake fronts that we carry, which is really undermined by all this distortion that we're still carrying around. And a lot of people think, and I've come across this a lot, when you talk to people and you can press a button for them, and this stuff comes up, and I think, oh God, I don't like you anymore, I don't love him. Even though people say they love the life work and they love Arthur and that, they don't know how to love, because that love is not, they're not responsible for it, because the distortions are dominating their presence in the here and now. They're not in a true peace and calm state. And this plays out all through the system life relationships. It plays out in families everywhere. So basically everything we say that we love in the system is not real. It ain't true, because we are not fully responsible, because that's what love is, fully responsible to be the sun that shines over what we say we love, what we feel that we love, what we care for. And that means empathy. compassion, and all those other virtues, good heart, radiating out as the sun that shines, to nurture, expand, protect, caress what we say we love, and give it our best all the time. Now, we don't do that because you look at Earth and nature as it is today. You look at the state of people and their relationships. You look at all the psyops that have formed the new age kind of personalities and characters, which none of it's real, and all the scripts that go with it. All these people, it's when you start pressing the buttons of what's still brewing underneath, because it was never meant to be there. We don't arrive into life with this stuff. We take it on by everyone else who believes they're doing the right thing by dumping it on us, believing that we should invalidate. We don't think that we're invalidating and distorting our children or distorting children, which we do when we start defining their perception and force them to align to those scripts, where they have to then hold on to all the scripts, everything that's been explained, to then formulate who they are and present this fake front through English or any other alphabet language. But everyone who says that they love you or love us or whatever is not true, because it's ongoing chaos and war and distortion. And I mean, the upsets that people get into arguments and battles, and which I've been crippled with for a lot of my life. I'm only recently conquering this undergrowth, this stuff that's brought anger and rage and things that are out of me, and having to learn where it's all come from. It's the 20 years of love life work, what I've been doing. But unless we conquer this stuff, unless we really look at it, we're not gonna get ahead, no matter what we think we are. Because while those fractures are still in present sense, we are energizing it, and we're actually loving the distortions and the fractures, because it's reflected as the conversations we have in the system, where all this distortion it's like a cauldron of stirring things up and getting us all caught up in and embroiled in the feelings of all the apathy and denial and enmity and pity and pride and arrogance and righteousness. There are so many things we think that we got it all worked out. We actually got nothing worked out, because you can't while that stuff's still underneath brewing away. And it will force us to not work with people. It'll force us to make us more selfish, more self-centered, which is great, because that's exactly what the powers that be, or the occultists at the highest level, they all want that. Because that's how you can control and manipulate everybody and maintain power, through generations.